What are y'all doing? I missed y'all. I'm home for like an entire month. I think over a month. Very excited. Please don't make me go anywhere. It's for a Monday. That means that we're already gonna get wild. So I thought we would do kind of an underpaint already. So I'm gonna use this, it's peachy, isn't that pretty? I love these. There you go, you can really see it when the light's not hitting it. These are from 𝗕𝗏, and 𝗕𝗏 is like a really famous artist brand. So I'm gonna take it and I'm just going to place it here and here, and we're just gonna start with that as a base. I want more. Give me more. Okay, put on your makeup seatbelts. So for the eye area, I'm gonna use a smaller brush because I need a little bit more precision. Let's go ahead and connect it. If I need to fix the tail of my brow, that's so easy. And then I'm going to just grab from here, just because it's gonna be harder to fit that there. And then we'll just go ahead and put this all over our lid, and we're just doing a peach underpaint. It's gonna add a really pretty glow. So I think I wanna do, I feel like we've been doing a lot of multi-chromes, and we're still gonna do multi-chromes this week. In fact, I wanna do a less feral look with the multi-chromes, so we're gonna use those tomorrow. But let's do some kind of cool tones, but with a peach base. Exactly what we're doing right now. This is gonna be so much fun. We're gonna do the warm and the cool and the neutral. It's all going in here. Smorgasbord. And you might have missed it, but the C43, this brush right here, is back in stock. So don't miss out on it this time. It did sell out last time. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I want it to be more pigmented here. I'm still gonna do foundation, so I'm gonna put more on top later, but this is gonna go underneath as well. But if you're dealing with any kind of creams and you wanna keep those creams really nice and pigmented, this is the brush for you. I like to call it the underpainting brush, but obviously it's just for, it's shaped for creams. Exactly what we're doing today. More. And don't be afraid of it being perfect at this point, because this is going to be a layered look. And you know what we're gonna learn really quickly is that this peach underpaint is really, really good if you tend to have a lot of darkness around your eyes. So don't be afraid to use a shade like this. There's lots of options. I do love this as a base, but I don't want you to ever feel limited to only this, but you would just look for a color similar to this. Now, using a color corrector can sometimes be a little tricky as a base because they have a different texture. So I would look for maybe a liquid eyeshadow, something that can dry down, something of that nature, something kind of that lends itself more to an eye base. So that's a really, really good tip. So if you have a lot of maybe hereditary darkness, this would be such a good base for you. So I'm still trying to investigate if these 𝗕𝗂𝘂𝗀 palettes were only in the store. I didn't realize that they weren't online until I left the store. I would have asked. But maybe we can convince them to put them online, because these are absolutely, I say these because I'm going to show you the other one. These are delightful. But I wanted to use the cooler tones. I just think this is going to be so cool. Pun intended, I guess. So let's start with this shade and get a little bit of shape first. So I'm grabbing it on the side of the brush, but I'm also grabbing it more towards the front. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip that towards the ceiling, and I'm going to start to push this into the socket. Okay, pigment. That is exactly what I'm after. Oh, this is already so pretty. And you're thinking, what are you talking about? I have a vision. So I was saying I'm going to grab more, still grabbing it more towards, where did it go? There it is. More towards the front, and let's push it here as well. Yeah, I really hope that y'all can get these palettes. I'm already blown away. That is already, this is rivaling some of the other palettes that I do have. I just feel like this is such a satisfying payoff. I'm actually kind of flabbergasted. It's so pigmented, but also easy to control. Beautiful. Just keep lightly transitioning that. All right. Now let's grab the shade next to it. And I'm grabbing that more on the side. Let's just say, let's use those bristles as a guideline, and I want to take it all the way up to the bristles. There we go. See the dark part? So now I'm going to take that and start to press that above that first shade of kind of gray we laid down. Really press it in. Creasing here is completely normal until we get it set, so don't even worry about that. I feel like sometimes we worry about things that we do not need to be worrying about, and it kind of messes us up in other areas. So just focus on this transition first. I already love this transition so much. It is so, this makes my makeup heart sing. So I'm gonna grab this shade, again, on the side, focus most of that on the brow bone first, and start to lightly smooth over this way a little bit. And then we're gonna smooth it over this way. If I wanna add more depth to the upper socket, which would be about right here, we can do that now. But it's nice to kind of get everything from here to here set. Now we're gonna start on our lid, so we do need to smooth this out a little bit with our C31. I'm not carving, I'm just smoothing. And I'm trying to decide what color I want to put on my lid. I think I want to put on this color. Isn't this pretty? Oh my gosh. Kiko, please. Maybe I want to go, oh my gosh. Maybe I want to go a little peachier. I can't decide. Because I do want to keep it in the peachy tones, but don't worry, we're going to do a look with that. Oh my goodness, let's see where this one's going. This one might be a little too gold. Yeah, that one's too bronzy. I think maybe I could put this more out this way. Let's do that. We're not finished though. We're going to put some more on. So we'll just pick it up with this because I want it to be more of a wash. I don't need it to be wildly pigmented, even though it is. Perfect. Yep, that's really nice. Kind of mixing those tones. So I think that this one is going to be the level of peach I'm after. Yes. Please don't worry. We will do a look with that. That is delightful. This palette is so good. Some might even say delightful.
He's just about ready for a famous bin bath.
Is he ready for a famous bin bath?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a little...
You're getting crusty. Come on, buddy.
You're getting crusty. You need a famous bin bath. Doug, are you getting crusty? And the famous bin bath is Ben puts him in the bath and then like lets conditioner soak in all of his fur. So cute. All right, now we're gonna take that shade and I'm just going to start to pack that on my, oh, wrong color. Swipe that off on Sheila. But pack that more towards the front here. Perfect. I thought we could try the new Haus Labs liner together. If you ever pick something up, this is important, but if you ever pick something up and it just makes any kind of, hear that? That means shake it. However, I really and truly shake anything. Anything that might be a liquid consistency, I give it a really good shake. All right, that should be good. I'm gonna do kind of a half duochrome situation too. I thought we'd use that. But let's go ahead and I think I'm gonna start from this way. Nice. If you're having to really continue to go back over and get an even line and the liner isn't gliding anymore, that liner might be time, it might be time to retire that liner. Or that might not be a liner that's working out for you nicely, because you see how that just, I'm barely touching it and it's depositing color. That is so important. because we get that precision from the flow, from how easy. If we're having to tug, we're not gonna have precision. Okay, so this is really nice and matte black. Very matte. I'm talking, it kind of reminds me of, do you remember was it NYC? Do you remember the famous NYC liner? It reminds me of that. I like it. So I did just clean it up with some micellar water on my C30, and then I just went back under with the peach. In fact, I'm gonna put a little bit more peach. Grabbed a peach. But we'll see how it wears. I'm gonna be able to wear this for a while today. So yeah, we're just cleaning up with this. And the reason I'm using this brush is because I want to keep a lot of the pigment underneath here. So it's more dense. It's going to keep that peachy pigment. And then the front part, I want to use duochrome. Okay, I decided I want to take this over this way. And we're going to let it be a little sloppy. Don't worry about it too much. I also wanted to see how it went over shimmers, and it goes pretty nicely over the shimmers. But the way I'm using the front part is as a black base for our next step. You know what? I feel like, ooh. I feel like this is more matte, but I feel like it's starting to dry in here a little bit. It's starting to feel like it's already wanting to pool. Me looking for my Valentino liner. Hang on. All right, this one is not even new. Look at it. I don't even know how old this is. The daggum thing's probably expired. And it's just so not pulley. Okay, kind of what I mentioned at first. And that's what we get a lot of times when we get new liners. They go on so nicely, and then a couple, even days later, they start to drag and pull a little bit. You know, I don't know what Valentino did here, and it's not even that the formula is the most special, but the way that the product continues to flow out of the tip of this is exceptional. Like I said, this one, look at this lid. I need a new one. I will go buy a new one after this. Man, I was really excited for the Haus Labs, but I can already tell. And listen, I know I try a lot. Usually I try things 3 times, but a brand new liner. So yes, they're both made in Korea. So I'm curious if they're made at the same lab, but it just goes to show you how important the mechanism is and how the product flows out of it. It doesn't mean that this is a bad formula. It's just, this is a better mechanism. Interesting. Telling y'all, this one's still fire. This one's just going to be a hair more, I'm going to show it next to you, just a hair more glossy, but I don't mind it. Okay, that's the Valentino. And again, that's not completely dry. I don't know. This one is really old. I'm going to go buy a new one right now. Alrighty, now let's hop over into this. This should be dry enough right now. We're going to do this Kaleidos duochrome liner. Trying to find the shade for you. There it is. Solaris. So we're gonna just take that. And the reason I put down the black base is so it'll really enhance it. And we'll stop it about right there. This has kind of been my thing I've been loving to do. And I mentioned Lionfish Bronze, the Stila one, because I'll do brown liner and then finish the front part with liner like this, and it really hides mistakes because it's a little easier to kind of get the shape this way, but once we move towards that inner corner, that's where it gets tricky. And when you do a liner like this on top, it kind of hides everything, but it gives such a cool effect. Very sneaky. Ooh, that's pretty. All right, this is completely dried down. The Haus Labs is going to be more matte, but the Valentino, they're not too different. They're really and truly not. This one, in fact, that one even looks blacker to me. Interesting. And this one's older. I don't even know how old it is. I probably shouldn't even put it on my eye. But I don't know, because I've seen a lot. I was so excited for this because, I mean, obviously y'all know I love wing liner. But I expected more out of this because there's been more makeup science since this one. So, oh well. Why didn't y'all tell me? Actually, I think y'all did tell me. But look, Lily Lashes, the self-adhesive. I think y'all told me after I requested them, and you're like, Rose, you didn't know? Y'all are the best. Look, half lashes, the self-adhesive kind. I'm so excited. Which ones? Are they all different? Let me make sure. Daydreamer, Starcatcher, and Wild Child. I can't decide. This one is kind of the lightest in terms of floof. This one's going a little heavier with the floof, but then this one's a little bit more chunky. I like chunky. Give me the chunky. All right, let's grab our little half lash. I'm so excited. I really didn't even know they had these. And then I'll just kind of wiggle it right there. Oh, I've missed a half lash. Delightful. Let it get a little bit more acquainted, and then we'll clamp it down. Let's get the other one out, and then I'll just kind of pinch it to warm it up. Actually, these are easy because they just stick right there. Perfect. Okay, it's already warmed up. It'll start to really grab once it's warmed up. Whee! Okay, while that one gets acquainted, we can go clamp this one. Get on there. And then I'll kind of hold it up a little bit. Perfect. So I'm gonna do just a little bit more of this stuff again. I'm gonna put some here, kind of where I would my blush. And then we'll do an underpaint. I'm gonna do less foundation where I'm placing this because this kind of gives some coverage. It's a very pigmented product. So I'm not gonna put as much foundation there. Nice, really, really underpainted there. I'm very excited. And then I'm trying to think, oh, Jean Bean here. I'm trying to think if I want to, actually, let's try this foundation together. I don't want something crazy full coverage like the one size, but I want something with a little bit. And then I just got this, but then it seemed to have ran away most like, oh, here it is, like all things. Okay, so let me just stop this slide because I'm kind of excited. So this is new from CoverGirl. They just sent this over while I was traveling. But do you remember the foundation that was in this bottle? Remember that one? The little triangle? So this is that updated. So now it's fragrance free. I'm very excited to try this. I'm gonna give it a shake. If it'll shake, I'm gonna shake it. Let's give it a try. I'm very excited. I did swatch it and it looks like a really nice shade. So I'm gonna start. Dag-nab, that's a good shade. I feel like the drugstore foundations are better undertones for me than a lot of the high-end foundations right now. Because I was trying to find a really good shade in the Huda foundation and I couldn't. I even went in store and couldn't find it. And then I was trying to find a really good shade in the one size, went in store, couldn't find it. They did send me all the little minis and I went through, I can tell through the bottle, so I didn't have to use all of them, so I always donate those. But still, there was 2 shades that I did want to try, and they were just so warm. So, unfortunately, there's not a perfect match for me in those. Everybody always focuses on the very yellow, very warm. And this looks perfect. I'm very excited. I'm using a C42 for the foundation. And then I'm going to sculpt on top. And we'll switch back to the C43 for the cream sculpting. Look at my redness. I'm using the tip of the brush to go around the edges here. And remember, I don't have a lot of foundation where that peach is because I'm just going to let that kind of be the coverage there. This foundation looks amazing. Hope it wears nicely. And then let me grab another. I added just a tiny little dab of foundation there. We're going to blend it in with our concealer brush. Just melt that a little bit there. Just needed a smaller brush for that area. So we're gonna do concealer underneath our eyes. So I really wanna brighten through here, but first, before we brighten, we must balance. So I'm gonna use a touch of a concealer very close to my skin tone, okay? This is important if you're going to brighten. If I just put on the very pink concealer I'm about to put on, I could turn gray, and we don't want that. So we need that little bit of balance underneath there. Melt it over here, but not all the way because I want most of it here. Because I'm kind of closing this in with the peach, and I don't want to take the brighten all the way over that way. Nice. So we're going to use this pink here. This one's from Calibre. I love this formula. I use this one in Cool Sunrise. This one is, what shade is this? This is the shade Dawn. And we're really going to brighten through here just for fun. And then I'm also going to use my Kosas powder to really brighten. But this is a really good lesson in brightening. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm kind of just doing it for fun. If you ever see something really, really perfect, it normally doesn't have to be that perfect. I just find painting that on very, very fun. So don't feel like it needs to look just like this for it to turn out the way that you want it to turn out. Now, what is going to help it turn out is these pressing motions. And I'm just going to let this run so you can see how long it actually does take. It takes a second. This is not a look that I would do if I was in a hurry, no matter what. But it is going to be really fun. All right, I'm just going to continue to let it blend because I think it's important to show you this. And also where I'm stopping it. And then to blend the outer part, I'm going to hop back over to the C43 just to transition that a little bit more. Isn't that cool? Makeup is just, oh, I just love it. And then we'll take some in there to brighten. And then I'll just put a little here, here, and then a little in the center. Now, we need to do some bronzer. So I'm going to use my Dominique Cosmetics cream bronzer. I love this bronzer so much. And we're going to use a C43. I'm going to wipe it off so I don't have too much there. And this on the tips of the fibers of the peach. Perfect. Look at that. And then I'm going to take just a dot. Start with a dot. Then we'll start to sculpt. And I'm going right, see that natural kind of shadow that I have? I'm not gonna follow it completely because I do want that bronzer to start to migrate up this way, the way that the sun naturally hits us. If I wanted to really sculpt, I'd go with a little bit cooler shade, but I'm wanting to add, I can still shape with bronzer, but can't really sculpt the same way. But this is going just a little bit into my natural hollow. All right, I did build it up a little bit more, and then I'll show you here. It's hair washing day. So this is going in my hair. You do not have to do that. But it is fun to do on hair washing day. If you don't have really blonde hair, I do understand that that could get a little bit much, but I'm having fun. Let me put this in my hair, please. The shape of the C43, since it's round, it just fits, but then also keeps the pigment, and keeping the pigment is what keeps the sculpt. So that's kind of the science behind the shape. And it's definitely a pressing motion. It's a bounce. Oh, that looks good. Look at that. I'm gonna put a little bit here too. And then I can kind of drag it down the neck. And then once I do have it kind of placed where I want it, I'll go back and tap all the way across. Tapping just gives an even blend. It's okay to pull a little bit, but we're always going to want to go back to the tapping motion. It just spreads product so evenly. And then I'll warm up my nose a little bit too. Look how nicely that. I was saying, look at how nicely it fits in here, just to kind of continue that sculpt. And then let me finish the side of my forehead. Into my hair, but it is satisfying. Now, it's almost time for powder. And just because it's Feral Monday and I'm absolutely wild, this is a really interesting shade of blush because it's almost neon because it has such a white base. Do keep that in mind. But it is really fun. And if you're fair to, I would say even medium. Medium tan, I might have a little bit too much of a white base for you. But if you are in that range, this is gonna be fun. So I'm gonna place this with my little sneaky brush here, my little D1. Did y'all see the sneak peek on the podcast? It's fun. So we're gonna pick that up, and you can see that it's going to be brighter than that original shade we have on, but it's kind of blush reinforcement because it's Feral Monday and we're just having fun with makeup. It's our art project day. So they just sent this one over. This is the more pink shade, okay? So I don't want you to think by any means that this is going to be pink. It's not even as pink as the original Givenchy powder. So I'm not sure where this is gonna go. It's not bad. I just don't want, it has pink in the name, and I feel like at this point we are primed for pink. When we think pink, we think pink. But that's not what this is gonna be. In fact, this might be a little too fair for my skin tone, unless I'm going for a look like what I'm doing. Obviously, it won't be when winter rolls around, but for right now, this one's gonna be better for this kind of intense, fun brightening that I'm doing on the inner corner. And I'm going to find my actual shade, which is the neutral peach. But this is a good idea. It gives you a good idea of where this shade is. Very brightening. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight the center with this powder as well. What that's gonna do is it's gonna bring everything forward. And then I'm gonna switch to neutral peach for the rest of my face. Get in there. For reference, this one is neutral peach. This is the one that I use all the time, and then here's the more fair pink. So you can see that difference. This one matches me really, really nicely. But I'm excited to have the other one too. So I'll just use the same puff. Get this powder absolutely everywhere. And then it might be a little lighter. It might just look a little bit lighter, but that'll be all right. No, looks good. And let's finish over this way. Nice, and then we'll go over everything. So Kosas has this gray shade, and I hope it's still in stock because it's actually one of my favorite shades from that entire collection, because gray eyeliner is just, it's delightful. It really makes any eye color pop. It adds definition, but it's something that's not quite as intense as a dark brown or a black, obviously. So it's a really slept on shade, and I'm so glad that they made one. So we're gonna do that. Skies are noisy at the moment. Ooh, that's so pretty. I'm trying to decide. I think I want to do something peachy underneath here to kind of mimic. I love this palette so much, and I'm going to give us some answers. I'm going to try to find out answers immediately. I'm going to take that shade and just kind of smudge that underneath here. Oh, that's so good. That's 𝗕𝗏𝘂𝘁𝘆 snoring today. And remember the Kaleidos eyeliner? Let's put that on the inner corner. Perfect. Ooh, that's pretty. That is Feral Monday. Look at how that is pulling with that now. Isn't that stunning? What kind of lip are we gonna do? Now, for the lips, I thought we could look at the new MAC satin ones. Listen, they have a blue shade, and I was sent all of these, and I am so grateful. I am. This is wonderful. But listen, I wanted the blue shade, and it's not here. And I can't, I went while I was in New York, and I tried to find it, and I couldn't find it there either. So I know there's a blue shade. I didn't dream it. I've seen it, and I want it. All right, so we'll start with Amorous, and we'll swatch them on Thursday. Okay, we're gonna swatch them all. But right now, we're just going to look at them. And I know you wanna see swatches, and we will do them, but I have to, look, I gotta go paint my nails, and I got things to do. But we'll look at them together. So this is a really pretty plum shade. And then what do we have next? But I am gonna put on one, because I'm looking for one that I'm kind of interested in here. Ooh, y'all are not gonna like this shade, but I love it. I kind of want to put it in the center. Let's put this one aside. Call it Cozy. So excited for that one. Next up, we have Left on Red. Ooh, that's gonna be a good red. And then look at this shade. This one is Truth Be Untold. Ooh. This is a contender. I think this would be pretty with that in the center. And then we'll use one of the new lip liners as well. And then what else do we have here? Then we have the shade Bricola. Oh, that's kind of a fun shade. Now I want something more neutral. This is interesting. There's a clear one. This one's called In the Clear. And then we have another red, Center of Attention. That's really pretty too. And then we have, which one is this one? Lovers Only. Ooh, that's a cool shade. Just kind of comparing it to the other red. It's a little bit more muted. Pretty. And then these are the shades that kind of speak to me the most. Look at this. Look at that pretty pumpkin shade. This is Espresso Yourself. And then Blankety, which I remember Blankety. Me and Blankety go way back. And then here is Modesty. And I want to say that I've had Modesty before as well. You can see that this one's a little cooler. And then last but not least, we have Film Noir. Ooh. Wait, do I want to wear this one? Yes. Let's just get wild, okay? We're putting this one on. Oh yeah, that's exactly. Oh my goodness, the pigment. Delightful. Ooh, and we should do the black lip liner. Yeah. Okay, these feel. And then there are new lip liner shades, and while I was traveling, I actually bought the shade Beige. I didn't try it yet, but then I came home and they had sent it to me. I just got too excited. But I do want to use the black lip liner. This is the shade Caviar, and I almost bought this one too. Are y'all signed to that NDA? Because he's in there squeaking and squawking. And if you've ever wondered why I do the lip liner afterwards, it's easier. It actually is. It's a lot easier to follow the shape, and you're also kind of blending as you go. Ooh, this is a good black lip liner. All right. I love. So I feel like these got an update. And the reason I say that is because there's a really nice glide. There's not a slip, but there's a glide. And like I mentioned earlier with the liner, it's important to have movement when it comes to makeup. Movement helps flow, which keeps precision. So if there's anything that's ever dragging or pulling or tugging at all, that's kind of sabotaging you. So I am excited to try the other colors. I wonder if this is a new lab. If I'm not mistaken, I could be, if any of my fellow absolutely makeup obsessed people. I believe that these were originally made in a lab in Germany. Now it's the Czech Republic, but then I also have some that say made in Italy. So I need to figure out that lab situation, because this does feel different, but in the best way. Then I'll grab the lipstick again, And I'll go back in and kind of blend that on top of the lip liner. Wow. It's even blending nicely. I love makeup. And then I have this kind of peachy blue flip highlighter. This is also from Kaleidos. I'm gonna grab it on this brush right here, coming soon. And I kind of grab it on the side. See how it's not on just on one side here and it's not on one side there? It's kind of in the middle there. It's a really nice highlighting shape. So we're gonna put this on. It's gonna give us a really pretty peach highlight, but it also has more of a translucent base. So you're still able to see our blush through it. See that? Wonderful. Just wait till you see it with the back camera. Oh yeah, that's pretty. That was my elbow. I am okay. And I'm gonna take some and just kind of go across here a little bit. I like how this technically has 4 sides. See that? 1, 2, and then 3 and 4. Well, technically even 5, because this is more of a nice little tip there. Okay, we're all done. Now, do keep in mind that I have a lot of unevenness on my chest, and if I was actually going somewhere, I would bring my foundation down here. This is also a good tip. I would use a sealant though, so it didn't get on my clothes. But I feel like we're close enough here that y'all understand that I'm gonna film more and I don't feel like taking that time. But for me, most of you don't have this issue here. I've had this my entire life. I don't know, I'm a little ball of nerve, so I always run around with hives. But that being said, if I was actually going somewhere, I would take that all the way down and I would spray something like the One Size setting spray or that new L'Oreal to really seal this in so it doesn't transfer to my clothes. All right, I had so much fun today. Thank you for painting with me. Thank you for letting me do this super dark lip. I had this vision and now here it is. And I can't wait for you to see all the sparkle and glow with the back camera. I love y'all so much. I'm so happy to be home. I travel so much, but I will say traveling is not my favorite thing to do. Now, I'm going to go finish putting some things away. I'm going to paint my fingernails and I'm going to take this off and film one more video. Definitely gonna be posting tonight, so I'll see you there in the comments.